Can you believe people are starting to use their real-life human bodies for business collaboration in that first life place everyone's talking about?
Are you kidding? I'll stick to my virtual workplace, thanks.
But I hear that this thing they can do in first life called shaking hands is going to be a real game changer.
But I've seen what they do in these first life meetings. They all sit there drinking coffee, staring at their laptop screens. What's the point? It can't be productive.
Oh, but it is.
What is this world coming to? I suppose they spend a lot of money on these real buildings and spaces they use for meetings in the real world too?
They sure do, and they're expensive. But they are totally worth it. This is the future. Stop being so old school. They can pick whatever color brick they want on the exterior of their buildings.
I bet they pay more than the $300 a month we pay for this virtual office space. I bet they pay that just for electricity. The buildings cost hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. How can they be profitable?
You don't get it, do you? Some people get it, some people don't. You can shake hands in first life and look someone right in the eyes. This is going to have tremendous and far-reaching potential.
Okay, fine, let me play the devil's advocate here. What if I live in a suburb 30 minutes from my office? How do I work with other employees in these first life places?
It's easy. You get into a car and drive there.
They can't teleport to or create any kind of environment or workplace they can imagine.
You're thinking like such a dinosaur.
Drive to an office and back every single day, 1 hour in a car each day. That's a lot of hours a year I'd rather spend that time with my family and friends.
You can call them on your cell phone while you drive. That's the price of innovation, man. Get with it.
How did they visualize 3D information? Can they create anything imaginable with the click of a button, like we can in our virtual workplace?
Who needs all those confusing extra dimensions? They take all that tricky information and make it two-dimensional.
2D?
Yeah, then they turn off all the lights in the room and look at lots of words onto a projector screen. They call it PowerPoint.
Well, these first life places must be absolutely spectacular in order to warrant such great time and expense.
Well, to be honest, they're mostly gray and white. The meeting rooms are these big empty spaces with a table and a projector. But sometimes they have groovy pictures on the wall, with a flower in a vase in the middle of the table. Well, not always, but sometimes. Plus, everyone gets their own cubicle.
People actually get real work done in these real-world places?
You bet.
What do they do with their cubicles?
They sit at computers.
All day?
Yeah, most of the day.
So, how is that different from accessing a virtual world?
We can shake hands. And here's where it gets really interesting. If I fidget with my hands, you can gain valuable information from that signal and make business decisions based on that body movement. You can't do that in a virtual world.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Very funny.
So, when they attend conferences or larger meetings, how do they do any networking if they don't have profiles to click on?
They shake hands. Duh. That's where the real magic is. Then, they give each other what they call a business card. They then take those cards back to their cubicles and look each other up on the web and send each other emails. This is priceless.
We can communicate so much more efficiently here in a virtual world. They can't just send each other messages, or share references, or have a group chat with a few like-minded people during the conference.
Networking on that level is overrated.
No way. I've seen these so-called first life conferences. Most of them sit at their laptops, or texting on their iPhones or Blackberries the whole time anyway. You should see them clamoring around these wireless stations sitting on beanbag chairs. What's the point?
I'm just saying, first life is the way of the future for business collaboration. You can get started now, or be left in the dust. You decide.
I'll stick with my virtual workplace, thanks.
Fine, you dinosaur, but if you were in first life today, you would have noticed that I wore a different color shirt today. I can be so expressive in first life. That's the kind of magic I'm talking about.
You must be kidding.
This shirt is blue. You can learn a lot about me when you think about why I wore a blue shirt today. First life is going to be a game changer. Either use it, or be left in the dust.
I rest my case.